Hey everyone, it's the Jake and Greg Show
from Wisconsin
and California.
It's Dancing with the Stars Season 27 semifinals.
That's right, and we are getting down and dirty with a shocking finale.
I know, one of my dreams came true and one of my nightmares did too, so stick around to find out. Guess what? We're talking about Dancing with the Stars.
Season 27.
Semifinals.
Yes!
So we're not in the same place.
No, we're not. Where are you, Greggy?
I'm in Wisconsin, land of cheese and brats.
Oh, and I'm in Los Angeles, land of very sad fires.
I know. I traded smoke for snow. So.
Well.
Anyway, let's get into this. Kind of shocking. I mean, there's always a shocking elimination, but definitely shocking.
This was a very shocking elimination.
I know.
Very shocking.
So
I was shocked.
6 couples. They did 2 dances. There was the judge's choice, which was the second dance,
where they had to redeem themselves from the first dance that they had done.
Most of the time, there was one that wasn't a first dance, wasn't it? Some of them was like week 3.
Some of them were the very, very first dance.
Most of them were. One of them was like a week 3 dance. Well, anyway, but in the first dance was the dedication dance.
Yes, so, dedication.
Let's kind of just burn through these and see what we got to do. So first,
Bobby Bones was first with Sharna, huh?
No, and he did salsa.
It's going down for real. And Len hated it.
Yes, and he dedicated it to his listeners or supporters or family.
Yes.
Yeah, friends.
Well, he did hit every step this time. They might have looked clunky, but he did hit every step.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yes, he lost the bounce every now and all the time. Not as bad as someone else, but he is growing. I'll give him that. He's really grown.
He's fun, but it's the semifinals, so he should have this is it.
So they got 3 sevens.
Mm-hmm.
I like. Bruno said it looked like someone who gate crashed a Victoria's Secret show because of all the outfits.
Well, those girls were great. The girls were beautiful with their little white outfits.
And you notice it's one of those things where they hid the footwork because they have all the people around them, so you don't see it as much.
You did it. What did they get on that one?
They had 3 sevens.
Oh, well, that seems right. Yeah. I mean, I would say 6s because he did show a 6-pack. I didn't know he had one. 6s for his 6-pack. He looked like he had a little operation, too, on his belly. Like the scar went from his belly button up a little. I noticed.
I didn't notice.
I have a big screen.
I was watching it on my computer.
I have a big screen.
Yeah. Next up was Alexis and Alan. Oh, they're so cute. They did a waltz. So
a fake couple.
She dedicated the season to her mom, but this dance to Alan, and it was a waltz.
That's so lovely. Well, she's very good at turning and keeping on her toes and very straight up and down with that beautiful body that we've talked about many, many times. Did you notice in the package that Alan has this red mark right here on his neck?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what that is?
Is that from a tracheotomy?
He had a tumor in there.
A tumor.
So he was getting a blood test and he was low on calcium. I'm trying to remember everything. Oh. And then they went, oh no, there's something in here that needs to come out. And there's a tumor on his, there it is, parathyroid glands.
Oh, right.
So that's why if you ever see him with a super red neck, like right there, it just gets red because it was just I think last May that they took it out.
Scary.
Anyway.
So what was the deal with his hair?
A little note about him.
What was the deal with his hair in the production piece? It's like all curly and bouffanty at the front.
Oh, no.
And
curly.
I know, and he kind of did look like a young Bruno. It was nice. It was pretty. There were...
Pretty.
They got 2 9s and a 10, a 28.
Yeah, well, I liked it.
Yeah.
Nothing not to like there. I like their second dance better, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, and next up was Grocery Store Joe and Jenna doing... he stood around while she did a contemporary dance.
Oh, he laid around too, Greg. He laid on the ground and he stood around and wow, while she like whipped herself around him in so many ways. Oh, he was terrible.
He was terrible.
Poor thing.
I'm not going to say anything about it. Nope.
His fans. They just keep voting for him. Jenna, she works hard.
She works hard for the money.
Mm-hmm.
Next up was Juan Pablo and Cheryl doing an Argentine tango.
Okay, I must say this was the best Argentine tango I've ever seen in the 27 seasons.
It was amazing, and
it might be one of the best dances. But honestly, you got to dedicate. And when they were teasing the story, they're like, and he's going to dedicate it to someone special. I was like, ooh, is it going to be me? Greg, since you're voting for him to go all the way.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, it was his mom, which was really endearing, and that was very heartfelt, I thought.
So another point we hit, and you keep on, is that he's a robot, right? And not that emotional. But yeah. I felt like in this dance, and especially the second dance, that he has relaxed and he's now in the dance as opposed to doing the steps. He's now living the moment, and it was very genuine. And we'll get to the second one, but even in this one, it was so technically good, and the way it built and the drama to the end motion. So good.
You're right. It was very good.
They got a perfect score.
I was blown away by it too.
Yeah, and so next up was Evie and Kale, and you're like, well, she got her perfect score last week. Yeah, she's kind of peaked. Yeah, and they came out and did a contemporary dance that she dedicated to a filmmaker friend of hers that had just passed away last year.
From ALS, right?
Yeah, and it wasn't one of those stand around posy contemporary dances that I don't like. There was a lot of choreographed movement. And
it was nothing like Joe's contemporary, which was like stand around or lay on the ground. But yeah, she actually moved, and it was beautiful, don't you think?
Yeah, I normally do not like the contemporary dances because I feel like it's a little free-formish. So I don't feel like it's as much of that intensity as the other ones. But this one, it was really good. And
that was really good. I was so good. It was so good. So I'm trying to think what I thought. Keel made me cry there. Did you see? At the very end?
But it was that crazy lady Aaron, when Aaron asked him, hey, what if you realize this is the furthest you've ever made it into the semifinals? And he just started crying.
I know. She could be mean, can't she? I mean, he was just being innocent, just his innocent self, and just letting her know. And then, his tears made me cry. When grown men cry, it sometimes makes me cry.
Right. And, James, when you and I went to that taping or broadcast of Dancing with the Stars, we saw she was a little snippy and cold to the people around her. So,
she was. That's why we could say that.
Exactly. So perfect score for them. And the next up was Milo and Whitney.
Oh, Milo, my favorite.
Doing the Argentine tango. Now, the biggest challenge is after such an amazing Juan Pablo performance, they had to come out and do the same type of dance, right?
I know. I thought it was going to fail compared to his.
Did a little bit.
It kind of did. I mean, it was a strong B compared to his A+.
Yeah. And
honestly,
they got 3 wins.
And he dedicated it to his mom, which is Cameron Manheim, who we love. Hey, I didn't know this, but I found out who his dad is.
Who?
It's a model, a male model. Looks like you. He has dark hair. He looks just like Milo, so it might be you. His name's Jeffrey Brezovar, and he was Nate Burgess's boyfriend back in 2006.
Oh.
But he was a GQ model that I have. I have a lot of 80s and 90s GQs. Or I used to. I threw them all away. But he would be on so many covers. He was cute. I believe he was Cameron's friend, and then they just did the whole, Madonna.
I want a baby.
Did you ever see that movie?
No.
No? Okay. Where she has a baby with her best friend.
But there wasn't a lot of not a lot of tango in the tango, too.
No.
So they were the ending of the first ones. They got 3 9s at 27. Next came up. We did the same order, but for the judges' selection. So Bobby Bones is up.
Wait, let me think. Ivana, and Juan Pablo are in the lead right now
Yeah.
with both tens, right?
Right. And
10.
and Grocery Store Joe's at the bottom.
Yes. So okay, so they're leading with perfect scores, and now we get Bobby Bones coming back, and Len is telling him basically redo one of your dances.
The first week one, the jive, where he was everywhere and he fell on his butt when he was celebrating at the end, and it was so big and crazy, kind of like this.
Oh yeah.
Because you're not seeing the whole picture, so my hands aren't in the picture. But he's so they Lynn came in and gave him some helpful hints and talked to him, and so he redid it. He got a 5, 4, and 5. So he got a 14 last time.
Well, what did he get this time?
He got an 8, 8, and 8. So he got a 24. And
that's 10 points higher.
Yeah, he doubled Lynn's score.
Well, here's the thing. He has super stiff legs, he has no flexibility, and he just clomps around. But he's adorable at it.
And he gets overexcited.
Yes.
So
that might get it. That might get him to the finals.
Next up was Alexis and Alan doing a jive.
Ooh, she has grown since the beginning. Like, her jive was like spot on. I loved it because it was like, let's get physical, Olivia Newton-John, like aerobic style, or that movie Perfect with John Travolta and Jamie Lee Curtis. Yeah. I was like, those bodies look great.
I know. Woo! I actually thought of you that you would enjoy the choreography on there because of what it was. And it was good. And she was a star, and she was so tight and spot on.
Yeah. She was. And she had that whole cast behind her, like doing the same thing, which can make you look bad if you're not as good.
Right. So perfect score.
Hooray.
Followed by the not perfect score of Grocery Store Joe and Jenna.
Well, Carrie Ann went in and said a few things, like before they danced, and she was their mentor coach or whatever. And woo, she cannot help him.
No, they did the quick step from week one also, and it was it was his high score.
I will say that it could have been his best dance ever.
It was, by for sure. Not even just on the show. And he got 3 8s, which he thought as 3 10s.
Yes. Yeah, so that's how Bobby Bones thinks too. 8s or 10s to him.
Next up was an amazing salsa by Juan Pablo and Cheryl.
Juan Pablo and Bruno was an instructor.
Right.
I could see how those two would get along really well. I think Bruno helps him open up a bit.
Yeah, and he to me had so much fun in this dance. The smiles and the movement and the way he
got to use his shoulders like he said.
Yeah.
That was nice.
It was just so enjoyable.
I was a little mad about the shirt that he wore during the dance. It was like a white shirt that was like a Cuban shirt, right. But it covered up his like sides and butt, and that's what you kind of want to see when you're doing that type of dance, because that's what's moving so much is like, and it was like so covered, and I was like,
After that was Evie and Kale doing redoing the foxtrot.
Foxtrot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you think Kale was like a little bit strange, like when he did those weird little baby steps around her? Like
he's such a big guy, yeah. He's a big guy with big feet.
And he had these little baby steps, and I was like, this is a little weird. But what did the judges say? I don't even remember.
Did you see both Lynn and Bruno? Was it Bruno? No. Yeah, Lynn and Bruno saw an error somewhere.
They're like, there was.
I didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it, but we missed half of it with the camera work because,
And my little computer. They got a 10 and 2 9s.
Oh, okay. It was really great.
And she was so much better. And then the last up was Milo and Whitney.
With a cha-cha.
Cha-cha.
Cha-cha-cha. And who was it Carrie Ann Inaba again?
Yes.
Yeah. And she was telling him to open up his lines, even though he's such a big person, he's not finishing his lines. Right. And I think he did a great job at that. He looked like an avatar dancing. You know those avatars that are blue that are really tall?
Yeah, James Cameron. Yeah.
I'm like, live it, avatar.
So they, main thing was he was still a little wild. Still a little big, little gangly like me dancing.
Yeah, but his movements were very sharp.
Yeah, Yeah.
And he does do a great body roll.
I like that with a little teriyaki.
You're so weird.
Again, people watch us. So we got 2 9s and a 10 for a 29. Wait,
ooh,
that's a 28.
That's really great. So, okay, who's in the bottom?
Bottom is who you would expect to be, Bobby and
Bobby
and Grocery Store Joe.
Grocery Store Joe and Juan Pablo.
Juan Pablo is at the top with the perfect score, 60.
Oh,
yeah.
So he's at the very top of the. So okay, go on.
And I think Ivana is just 2 points below them.
Yeah.
And really close with Alexis. Yeah, Ivana and Alexis are tied. So.
Okay. So what happened?
So we got to the elimination. A double elimination. They had 3 couples up there. It was Juan Pablo, Alexis, and Grocery Store Joe.
Okay. And you think you know what's happening, right?
Yeah.
But no, you don't. Because Juan Pablo and Grocery Store Joe go home.
So they got rid of the best dancer there and
with the highest scores.
And the worst dancer there.
So it was shocking. It was like the day I woke up after the Hillary Trump thing and went, really? He's the president? It was that shocking.
Well, I wouldn't put it quite on that level for me, but
well,
I was concerned when Bobby wasn't in the bottom 3. And I'm
that's concerning.
If Juan Pablo's down there and he has a perfect score, that's got to be safe. Now, so yeah.
So we didn't connect with people like we thought.
And the judges got upset that he got sent home, right? I mean, earlier in the day, Lynn said, if you don't make it to the finals, I'm going to go home and pickle my walnuts.
Oh, my gosh. I guess those are getting pickled. Pickled walnuts. I hope what he's talking about are actual nuts on a tree.
Yes. I'm going to look that up and explain right here. But at the end, the judges were very upset, understandably. I don't even think Grocery Store Joe got to speak. They asked Juan Pablo, they asked Cheryl.
Well, it was a shocker. It was such a big shocker.
And then when he did the shot where they pulled back, everyone was around hugging Juan Pablo. And you saw it was just Cheryl and Grocery Store Joe off to the side a little bit.
Oh. Well, at least the misery is over for him. I mean, I felt he was miserable.
So my one note, so obviously I'm not going to win this season either. But as I've been saying, when I go out and I post these videos that you watch and we tag it and stuff, I notice on the social media, the largest number of people that are hashtagging and tagging the other stuff that happen is with Milo.
Oh, tell me.
It's Milo, by far. So.
Oh, that's good to know, because he's my favorite.
I know. So
oh my gosh! And then Juan Pablo didn't get much at all, did he?
No, he was significantly below.
You know what? He's going back to Fuller House. He's better at playing a character than himself.
Right.
I must admit it.
And Fuller House is done, so this may be something bigger and better.
Oh, is it wrapped all the way?
I believe so. I thought it was done.
Oh, okay. Well, put it here.
Yeah. So, I guess I will go with Evie now. I don't think she has it, but I think Milo's going to win just from what I see.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I chose another winner. Maybe, possibly.
Yeah, so next week is our finals. We have 4 couples that are left. We have Milo, we have Evie, we have Alexis, and we have Bobby Bones. Who do you think is going to win?
Who will win? Who will win?
Dancing with the Stars, season 27. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll be in the same state next week. And who's going to win? We'll see you then.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. Hey, have a great time in California.
Yeah, you too in Wisconsin.
Bye. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the James and Greg Show. Hope you enjoyed this episode. You know what we need you to do now?
Subscribe.
Yes. And then share this, like it, and comment on each video.
Yeah, you'll see lots of special guests.
Yeah, and watch our episodes. We do recaps of your favorite shows. We have little adventures, and we have special guests.
And sometimes we're funny.
Subscribe.